Greetings everyone, hey, thanks for joining me. Sagittarius, this is your reading for July 2020. We have travelled along this very unusual journey so far of this year, starting out a little bit oddly and ending up where we are now in the current timeline or space, still pondering where the rest of the year might take us. I'm uploading this reading for you just before the new moon solar eclipse on the global axis, which indicates a new timeline, a new world and a new dimension of being. So I think as the time has come closer to this eclipse, more and more of us are feeling the energies and the power and the potency behind it. So it seems to be a juxtaposition point for new timelines emerging, new activities, new thought forms, new paradigms and understandings as we move into the rest of this year, but more importantly as we move into the decade of 2020. I've said for some time that I believe this year, seeing as it is a new entrance into a new decade, was going to set the time frame or the energies for the whole decade, and I think this is showing itself even more so, and I believe this to be the case around these eclipses that are happening in June and the last one in July. So whether or not you are listening to this reading right as I upload it before the eclipse happens or shortly after, the effects will still be just as powerful and probably as potent for you and the collective consciously. So just a little bit more information about that eclipse. It is a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, and it's the most powerful of this year. It falls moments after the solstice at 0 degrees of Cancer. 0 degrees of any zodiac sign is powerful as it represents the field of infinite possibilities. But 0 degrees of Cancer also happens to be the global axis, a highly charged point in the cosmic skies. This is powerful energy that doesn't just come and go. We'll feel it building before and building for a long time after. The steps and choices we make around this eclipse will have the potential to last for many years to come, and simply I believe it will be for a decade that it's setting our time events. So with that in mind, let us see what's in store for you guys for July. I've noticed too that with the readings that I've undertaken so far, oh, there's a mysterious interloper in this deck of cards. We will take a look at this interloper right now and see what the message is. And it is actually the card that arrived for yesterday's reading, and he must have accidentally hopped into this pack, but he must be wanting to be seen again. And it's White Raven Spirit, which is not common, but it says trust in the magic, which I think in essence is what we've been saying, that there's this huge potential for amazing change or dynamic or direction around about this time of the year. So if you're able to grasp it and energize into that, you'll be surprised at what could eventuate in your life and perhaps in the collective as well. So this is for Sagittarius for July 2020. We've seen so much happen in the beginning of this year. It's hard to really get our heads around the depth of the events that have been taking place, including the virus issue and the Black Lives Matter movement as well. So there's a first card out. Three of Wands, it's your type of energy, it's the fire sign energy. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Well, I love it when the universe gives us such succinct messages. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. So the Three of Wands is often related to career or our passion or our creativity sector in life. It bodes as a positive energy card, and it often is talking about the future. In the traditional tarot, we often see it as a man standing with his back towards us, looking out over the horizon of distant lands, pondering what he is going to do and where his future will take him. It's often considered a card of expansion. So I'm thinking here for a lot of you, this could be expansion of your whole passionate creative abilities in life, whether that's to do with your career or to do with something more personal or more globally connected. It is often also connected deeply with the arts, and that includes things such as writing, acting, creatively painting, or making something or designing something as well. So a really great card to start with your reading. It bodes activity, action and expansion in particular. Some of you may find that you are looking to expand a career or a business at this point in time. And some of you may be thinking of utilizing technology and going online with things like businesses. So this may be an area of interest for you. And certainly right now, it is a good time to move into these new realms or ideas or passions that are coming upon us. What else is in store for Sagittarius? What would you like them to feel into, understand, or meditate with? So two more that came out, the Magician and the Eight of Winter, which is actually the Eight of Swords. So they're a little bit opposite each other in many ways. The Magician is the alchemist, so he is amazing at being able to change a dynamic of something and bring it into a different direction. He has intense power over outcomes that may not appear to be readily available or may not even appear visible to you. And in fact, this Three of Wands is also similar, because this is pondering on the expansion or a direction and not actually knowing the outcome. It's about planning your steps with an eye to the long term. So with the Magician, he also has this, if you like, a bit of planning involved in what he is offering you, because it takes effort, time, planning and involvement to bring about his magic that is around at this time. There is no doubt that when he turns up, there is something in the air that is very unique and very opportunistic, and it could take you on a road that you had not imagined would exist. So be aware of this Magician's abilities to suddenly flick his fingers and something appears out of nowhere. But it does take your effort to engage and to figure out how to make 1 + 1 = 2. Usually there's a lot of work involved when the Magician comes, but it's so worth it in the long run. So there's where that planning comes back in. If you look in his hand, he's holding something that looks to be almost like a little fireworks sparking off, and it has the never-ending circle of life, the number 8. So the Magician also holds a lot of karmic weight, and he has popped into a lot of readings this month, and it gives me the feeling that some karmic issues in people's lives are being alchemized or changed or freed up one way or another. And this is happening globally for the collective, and we can see that in instances like the Black Lives Matter movement and some of the political changes that are coming. They're deeply imbued in our history of human life on this planet, and especially in our current timeline. But karma is releasing and allowing changes to take place. So this happens at the collective, but it also happens at the individual level. So be aware of the magic in your life. Wow, I'm a bit slow, aren't I? Because the card, the interloper, trust in the magic. So there's a wonderful synchronistic event that just took place. The little white raven that was hiding in the deck, we had a look at him. He's the magic. He says trust in it. And the Magician was one of your first, was the second card out. So there's a lot of inference here about the depth that this message could take you, but it is going to require your input, patience and planning. So don't forget that if any of you give up, or if any of you start to feel like this. And this Eight of Swords is traditionally anxiety, worry, tension, and feeling that you might have missed the boat, or feeling that you can't achieve what you would like to, or that sometimes the pressure is too much. And sometimes when the Magician comes out, it can be a bit pressure oriented to find the way to make the success happen. And sometimes that means you have to give something up or move in a different direction. But with this Eight of Swords, it's self-limited doubt. It's not actually necessarily real doubt of situations or relationships or ability to do something. So it's really important again that you trust in the magic with the white raven, that he comes back to talk to you again. You know, don't let anxiety, fear or doubt take hold in some offers and opportunities that could be surrounding you. Her words are, because this is a Doreen Virtue Fairy Tarot deck, you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. So given that this 8 has turned up with the Magician, I think the message is quite strong there, that if any of you are doubting your abilities or a situation or a possibility of an outcome, you need to have more faith and you need to have more confidence. Some of you may have had your confidence knocked lately, and especially in the events that have taken place since the beginning of this year. You might be feeling a little bit flat, or you might be doubting your choices or your ability to withstand, more pressure or more change. But just trust in yourself and trust in the magic and trust that the universe is delivering to you what you need to experience at this point in time. And sometimes what we experience can be things that make us feel a little stressed or worried or unsettled. And certainly, again, we've experienced that through the beginning half of this year. I don't feel that 2020 is going to become any less potent either. So we're still on a journey of extremes for this year. Let's see what else is in store for you guys. They're nice messages coming through. They're actually giving you quite a lot of support, but they're also taking you, into the future quite a lot as well. Well, now you have the Emperor, another major arcana. You use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organised, a firm but compassionate leader. And I feel your messages are quite firm but very compassionate. They're saying to you, if you are in a place of worry or doubt or loss or anxiety or trepidation, you have to take the step. You have to be a little more confident. Now, some of you may feel that you need some help with this, or you may feel an offer or opportunity is on the horizon of your life, but you don't know how to make the 1 and 1 equal 2. So this Emperor can sometimes be a wise counselor for you, and sometimes he is an older Aries person, or has an Aries sign attached to him. It might even be that he is another fire sign person like yourself, or it could even be yourself using logic and structure to increase your success. The Emperor has very solid values and rigid ideals and methods to get from A to B. So he can be very useful in formatting a plan, actually. He can be very useful in formatting a plan for you, whatever you would like. Now, he is also a good counsellor, so he may turn up as an emotional counsellor or a support person. Sometimes he is held in the realm of lawyer or accountant or taxman or someone along those lines. He could also be considered a doctor, which is where the counselling is coming from, I guess. But sometimes he's a medical doctor as well, that some of you might be engaging in finding something out, and this could be about a health modality, and he could be the wise mentor or person to give you logic and structure on how to ease a health situation that has been around you as well. He's in a church in this particular picture, so there's something about his moral and ethical background that is quite rigid, and it does tend to follow the law, the current laws of society. So some of you may feel that you are bound by this at the moment, or that you wish that you could be in a situation where there were more rules that had a fine line that were keeping things under control or balance. So whether or not he is useful to you in uplifting his ideals, his plans, the way he works, and his moral and ethical code, it might be something that's valuable to you. For some of you, he's holding a heart here. For some of you, this could be a potential new love romance, or even someone that you are already in a partnership with that may be reignited or healed, or has the propensity to need a little bit of support or counselling or such like as well. Now, I also notice he holds the world on a spectre there. And I'm not sure exactly what that means in this term. It could be that the world is his domain, or the laws of the land are his domain, or something along those lines, but it may also mean that the world is your oyster if you balance yourself out and use logic and structure to increase your success and become organized. Now, doing all of those things, logic, structure, and organization, reduce any of these feelings of anxiety or inability to perceive an outcome or a way out of something. So again, I'm feeling as though you're being given a lot of support in this reading and a lot of answers that may help you if you are blinded by something or can't see a way out or are struggling to find an answer or can't find the magic in a situation. So what else is there in here for Sagittarius for July? Oops. Well, there's quite a lot that have jumped out here. I'm not sure that we will spend too much time on each one of them, but let's see what they are. There's the King of Pentacles, compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything going your way and a good person or company to work for. So he may be associated with the Emperor. They seem to hold sort of similar energies, especially through this particular deck of cards. He could again be this person that is already around you in life. He may be a support person, a counselor, a mentor. He could be an employer. He may be a partner for you. But the King of Autumn is also known as very good with finances and money. So for some of you, this could be associated with your career or with what you do with your money, how you invest it or how you earn it. He could potentially be a new employer for some of you as well, or another person that you go to for advice or information or mediation or counselling. These two seem to go hand in hand, almost as if they could be in part the same person. So it might be a Capricorn with a rising fire sign or a fire person with a rising earth sign. There feels to be something in here that this could be one and the same person, but there's a definite strength behind it, and it seems to give you strength to ground yourself a little bit into regaining your own strength or being less afraid of a move you want to make or a decision you want to take. So these three kind of all came out together. They're cup cards. We've got 6, 8 and 9. So the 9 of Cups, of course, is a wonderful one to receive. It's the wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, a magical time of life. So the reference to magic and magical events or propensities or opportunities or portals or timelines is shining through with frequency right from the beginning of this reading through now to the end of this deck that we're particularly using. Remember that your wishes and the magic is a part of an opportunity gate or portal. The 8 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. This one is a little more sad again, and you have had the 2 8s come out that have referenced a little bit of a feeling of perhaps loss and, maybe a little bit of sorrow or isolation, moving away alone or being isolated alone. There could be something that you are leaving at this time, and a lot of us certainly collectively are leaving things behind. We're moving in new territory, even if we didn't want to, and that's what can create this feeling over here. This one says the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing it's time to move on and choosing to make major life changes. We know this is about leaving things that have been unbalanced, and oftentimes it's about leaving relationships that have been unbalanced for us. Sometimes these are personal relationships or relationships that have been very close to the heart that we may have spent a lot of time and effort on and may have been for a long duration in our life. The 2 8s is something for you to ponder upon. These 2 8s in particular have a little bit more of like a flatter energy to them. But remember, we had the 8 in the Magician, and the 8 is very much what I talked about is actually a karmic number or a number of karmic life, if you like, life cycles, so the never-ending cycle of life. This could suggest that what you are experiencing over here, if these two are tied in, is that it's time for a karmic release and that you are actually being freed up, and you will feel the magic and the freedom as you move in and forward with wishes and opportunities and expansion. I often do feel this one relates to personal relationships, and this could very well be, as I said earlier, someone you are quite close with, like a family member of sorts, whether it's a close partner, a sibling, a parent, a cousin, uncle or auntie, or it could be a community friend or maybe a work colleague. The last card, which is the Six of Cups, often talks to us about going back in time, and sometimes we revisit feelings of the past when we are moving into new territory. And when it says here, realizing it's time for you to move on, sometimes we try to recapture the memories and think, well, wasn't that bad, we perhaps should stay and work it out. But this one says remembering events differently in a better or worse light. So try to be realistic about the situation that you are working with in this instance, if it is about relationship changes, and be fair and honest, because that helps you to make a move or a decision without feeling this middle card, which is the anxiety. When we put a false light or belief or hope into something, we usually know it in our emotional energy field and through our heart. And it's that time when we feel the anxiety and we feel the uncertainty of the decisions we are making. But if we put a true light on the reality of the situation and we accept it for what it is, and we prepare ourselves to either stay and make it better or help it to grow and prosper, or whether we choose to leave and walk into a new direction, we'll feel it in our heart and we'll know it at the emotional level that it's the right decision. So trust in your intuition as well, and trust in your emotional intuition. This card also represents children or childhood and the return of people or romances from your past. So you may come across deja vu moments. You may experience also synchronicity, which we did at the beginning of this reading with the White Raven Magic card and then the Magician. That's an example for you. Some of you may revisit places that you haven't been to for a long time and really feel that wondrous connection of awe that you experienced when you were young or the last time you were there. You might come across school reunions or family reunions that you attend. You may even go to functions such as a wedding or 21st or a celebration and come across a lot of people from the past and enjoy the occasions and really have fond reminiscing. Some of you may be reignited with a past love, and this could either be to heal the karmic event that is keeping you apart or has some negative energy field in it, or it could be to reignite you as potential partners again. So the Six of Summer has a lot of meaning behind it, even though it's a card that's sometimes brushed over quite lightly. She also talks about children or childhood, so children could play a role for you in around this time of the year and even going forward. Sometimes this means you might want to work with children in one way or another. You may have an extended family occurring, like a blended family coming together, or the adoption of a child or the birth of a baby within a family. So many different levels that card does represent. So you actually got a lot out in the end there, Sagittarius, and a lot of messages, a lot of talking that went on as well. Let's briefly have a look at this oracle deck for you. Not so many to work with from here, but we'll just see. This is for Sagittarius. What else would you like to show them so they can focus on or meditate with or understand for the month of July? I think maybe we'll take these. Angel of Strength again, and it matches really well with what we've already been saying, especially when we were referring to the Eight of Swords that had come out. So you've got a nice angel there with you. Wow, Archangel Metatron, just white light. And he's through the third eye, and this is all about the intuition. When I said just before with the Six of Cups, really trust your emotional intuition and also any cosmic or galactic intuition that's coming your way. So Archangel Metatron is a very good angel for working with children also in particular. So thank you for that. If you are having any trouble with younger people in your life, and this goes right up to people in their early 20s even, Call upon Archangel Metatron's beautiful, supportive, nurturing energy. He is very good at working with the younger realm and also the children of today's era, especially children that might have things such as the rainbow energies or the crystal children, the Asperger's or autism spectrum and the ADHD spectrum. Metatron works really, really well with them for connection and healing and releasing tensions, and also helping the communication bridge as well. He also works with us through the third eye and through galactic cosmic information coming in that you receive at the higher self and at that cosmic level. So a lot of portals of cosmic activation awaiting you. And yeah, we're still up in the cosmos and in the realm of the sun for the last card from this deck. And of course we started with the sun with the solar eclipse. So I'm sure that is going to have quite a powerful effect for you guys, as it is for everyone really. But the sun again is all about new beginnings, the birth of something. Sometimes a child and sometimes children are again portrayed energetically through the energies of the sun. So these three cards again are kind of bringing us collectively into a realm of the child, or the child-like emotions or feelings, or remembering to be as a child with awe, wonder, happiness and excitement. It also talks about new adventures, new beginnings, new prosperity, oftentimes new endeavours such as a business or romance or relationship as well, and fertility too. So a lot of cosmic energy thrown into the hue and the activation of these last three cards. So a powerful reading that has really spanned many different fields for you guys, and it's certainly like there's so much to say in your reading. It just wants to keep going actually, but like everything, we've sort of set a time limit on it. So let's turn to the Oracle Animal cards, and again a few came out, but number 10 came out, Buffalo Spirit. He's the one on top, so that's the one that I'm going to be working with primarily. Oh wow, the abundant universe will provide. You know, we're back at where we started with the message of the magician and the white raven, trust in the magic. So let me read to you from the book with this one. Buffalo Spirit comes to you now to remind you of the amazing manifesting power of gratitude and the extraordinary potential available to you when you adopt a mindset of abundance. The ancient people of the Americas saw the buffalo as a symbol of abundance because the herds roamed far and wide and provided so many gifts: the meat, the hide, the bones. The tribes who hunted the buffalo used every bit of them, wasting nothing, appreciative of the abundance. So too do you have many gifts available to you. Buffalo Spirit appears to let you know that you are in a powerful time to manifest your desires, not by force or pushing, but rather by following a natural path that rises up before you, trusting that there is always plenty to go around. Whether it be love, money, inspiration or support, it's all there for you to claim. When you are grateful, you immediately align yourself with the truth that the world is rich and teeming with resources. There is always more than enough, and you are always enough. At this time, you can expect all your intentions and needs to come into a form that is right for you. Your heartfelt gratitude is making you a magnet for miracles. Buffalo Spirit's message is to remember that you co-create your reality in partnership with Spirit. So offer up your thanks and your prayers even before you see conditions you desire, not just for yourself but for others too. Then you will quickly see the results in tangible ways. Gratitude has the magic to grow for good. So offer thanks and praise as you acknowledge all that you have and all that is possible. Now that they do have a protection message as well, so I will read that for you as well, because some of you may feel more in tune with the protection message. When Buffalo Spirit visits you with a message of protection, he is asking you to shift your thinking from poverty consciousness to one where you trust the universe will provide. Have you been falling into financial insecurity, worrying that there will not be enough money in the future? Have you been stressing and feeling sorry for yourself, worrying that because you have no romantic relationship, you'll never have one? Do you see scarcity when there is, in fact, abundance? Are you comparing yourself to others and falling short? Self-pity, entitlement, fear, and lack are all thought viruses that seduce you into darkness. Buffalo Spirit nudges you to make a gratitude list and be mindful of your thoughts at this time. Even if outer events have happened to challenge your beliefs in abundance, outer conditions are temporary. If you are suffering from the malice of fear that you are impoverished, realize that it is only poverty of perception and perspective. Prayer, communion with your higher power, and gratitude coupled with compassionate self-service will snap you right out of it. Give to someone who has less than you and be thankful for the tiniest things and say affirmations. Then you will remember abundance is the true nature of the world. So what a powerful way to finish your reading. And you had power and strength, and you also got the strength card just before the Buffalo Spirit. So you have power and strength at many levels throughout this reading, and so many magical opportunities of abundance and prosperity and manifestation, as well as connection to the cosmic white light and intuitive realm. So a really beautiful reading for you guys, and I think this is such a potent time portal at the moment with the eclipses occurring, that these messages are well worth really focusing on and energizing into reality. So there we are, Sagittarius, a wonderful reading. Thank you all for joining me. Check your moon and rising signs as well, because all of the readings for this month have been beautiful indeed. I wish you much strength and abundance as you manifest your new timeline for the rest of 2020 and into 2021. Thank you again. Be safe, be well, be happy, and be kind to each other. Namaste.